Dennis Swanberg, an 8-track guy in an iPod world.
I'm an 8-track guy living in an iPod world. Can I get a witness from anybody out there? I admit it, I'm old-timey. Some of you young people here tonight going, you know, he's doing people and old stuff. You know. Well, get over it. Some don't even understand or appreciate my voice impersonations because I do people way back there. Like Billy Graham. He's been a hero to me for a long, long time. I love him and respect him, and I envy him in so many ways. His voice just captivates millions across our world. I love Billy Graham. I love doing Billy Graham. So, see, some people right now, there might be some young ones back here going, I don't know who he is. We're here at Lake Point, you know. Watch the History Channel, will you? Watch the History Channel. Billy Graham, one of the greatest evangelists of all time. Good night. The other night on television, at our home on Saturday night, they had those Saturday night classics of Billy Graham. I love it. The other night, Chad, my oldest, and Dusty, my youngest, they was in the visiting us, and I said, y'all come in here and watch this right here. It was one of his 1971 classic crusades. That's when I got saved, Carter. Michelle, I was 17 years old. Just like old Tim was 17, I was 17. March 15th, 1971. Springtime. And Billy Graham, I'd watch him see. Well, he was preaching a sermon on that classic, 1971. Remember when they talking about Jesus Christ Superstar? Remember that was popular. And his voice was higher and he was younger. And he was talking about this musical, Jesus Christ Superstar. Is it true who you say you are? And the lonely voice of youth cries, what is truth? And he preached that night, and there was just that echo effect that you would hear of Billy, 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 Billy. And that young man from North Carolina that God raised up out of those hills and has used for his glory all around the world. I love Billy Graham. But see, now he's older. I've done stuff with Billy Graham. I know, ma'am, you're probably thinking, I don't think you should do Billy Graham. He's a man of God. I asked a lady one time, what do you think about me? She said, well, we don't know, you know. But I've been with Billy Graham, and now he's older, and his voice is a little lower, but there's still that victory and that strength and power when he speaks. And when he's on Larry King Live, he has to correct Larry sometime. After the commercial, he comes back after the break and says, now hold on, Larry. What I meant by that is this: the gospel says, the Bible says. I love it, I love it. I'm old-timey. I like doing those old voices. I like Jimmy Stewart movies. I watch those movies every time when I'm flipping through the channels and I say Jimmy Stewart, I'm telling you, we're watching Jimmy. Do you understand me? And my boys are there and say, Daddy, put it on ESPN. I say, well, ESP yourself right out of here. We're watching Jimmy. I love his movies. Every time he's on the tube, I hold that channel changer. Men, don't let go of it. It's the last thing you'll be in charge of. I love that channel changer, by the way. I love it. I'm going to tell you something, ladies. I don't want you to get mad at me right now, but I'm going to tell you one thing we are getting a little bit tired of. When y'all say, leave it on this channel, leave it on one channel, quit flipping that thing. I'm going to tell y'all something. You know what I just did? Mute. Mute yourself. Let your man be a man. I've decided when I die, when I'm in that casket, and I want a good size one too, by the way. I want one that I, rest in. I don't want to be hunkered up. Feel like I'm on one of them airplanes, where you do a wedgie. I don't want to be doing a wedgie in my casket. I want to be able to I want my Bible. I want my Bible in my left hand. I want a box of Little Debbie Swiss roll cakes. Right there, just symbolic of what gave me joy. And I wanted my channel changer in my hand right there. And I hope some of the ladies that used to be part of my church that always thought I was just too silly for the pastor, I hope when they walk by, because they're going to come, because they want to look at me and everything. And they'll come walk, and when they see that, I know they'll go, can you believe that? A channel changer in his hand. Man, I've got my funeral people are my buddies. They're my friends. I'm going to see if there's any way they can jug my finger that when people come by, they go, would that set them free or what? That's a happy thought. That was a happy thought right there. I'm old-timey. I'm 8-track. 8-track. Remember those 8 tracks? Gosh, were those good. I remember we'd listen to 45s, and 77, 33 RPM. We had a record player with put the arm on it. And sometimes sometimes we even had a diamond needle. And it wouldn't stay in the groove good. You had to tape a nickel on top of the arm just to sort of hold it in there. When they came out with 8-track, oh man, I had a little 8-track thing. I kept it in my glove box of my 1964 Chevy. Had it right in there. I could close the glove box and everything, punch a button right when I needed to, when I had my little sweetheart, my sugar babe, my little, just friend in the Lord. Well, the Bible does say greet one another with a holy kiss. Now, of course, mine wasn't too holy, but anyhow, but I could reach over around her. I have, right, and I could reach, and I'd put that Ray Price on there. Oh, lay your head upon. I'm in church. All right, I'm in church. All right, back up. 8-track. Sometime it would skip tracks, Tim. What do you do in a situation like that? You get a little book of matches. I ain't saying I smoke. And jab it underneath, sort of prop it up and jam it in there where it'll hold there and won't skip. Sometime it would get off. Remember, it'd get twirled up on you. Don't throw it away. You have to pry that thing open. Take the tape out. Wind it, honey. Listen to me. Your dad never taught you these things, did you? Then sometimes you'd get it and you could sort of like a yo-yo, whoo, whoo, and it'd go, and suck back in like Ross Pro. It's like a bag of sucking sand. That tape would, let's go out there and it suck right in there. How many remember what I'm talking about? Then they got the cassette tapes. I like cassettes, to tell you the truth. They ain't making cassettes in cars anymore. What are we going to do? With all them old sermon cassette tapes we purchased at church. Way back there from real preaching. Where they meant what they said. And they'd preach. Now we just talk and tell a little story. I'm concerned. When I was a preacher, I'm old-timey. And at my church, we have contemporary services. And man, our pastor, he's good, and he's a teacher, talker, and everything, and that's the style nowadays. I'd like to get with it sometime. Do a little John Hagee. Somebody give me a praise and glory. I love John Hagee. I love him. And all these others, they just talk to you and everything. And when the time for decision time comes, you ought to come down the aisle. That's how I came to know Christ. I walked down that aisle. That's the way you do it, and fill out a card. Now they say, go out into the lobby and get a mug, you know. Y'all know what I'm talking about? You don't even come forward. You go into a lobby and get a mug. Man, when I got Jesus, I didn't get no mug. Now you come to know Jesus, you get a mug, and get a balloon and everything. You know what I'm saying? But that's all right. I'm old-timey. My daddy, he's old-timey, old Floyd. I'll call Daddy. Daddy, how are you? How you doing? He said, well, they slipped another one in on us Sunday. They what, Daddy? They slipped another one in on us Sunday. They slipped one in on you? What are you talking about? Well, them praise songs. They're trying to make us contemporary. Contemporary, Daddy. Well, you know what I'm talking about. Where it reaches the young people. It reaches the young people, but I know what they're doing. I know what they're doing. I saw a special on it on television. I said, well, you don't say anything negative, do you, Daddy? No, it reaches the young people. Mama chimes in, it reaches the young people, and we're never saying anything negative. You know. What we do is we listen to our Bill Gaither tapes on the way to church. And then on the way home, we listen to our Bill Gaither church. Well, see, everybody's happy then, Daddy. Everybody's happy. That's what we do. I said, well, I'm proud of you. Now, my friend Bill, his farm is just south of Mama's daddy's farm. I know Bill, Daddy. I remember Bill. He called me the other day and said, Floyd, could you explain to me this praise music? He's a Lutheran. They don't know much about this yet. I said, I told him, well, Bill, it'd be like if I went out in the pasture and came back and told Pauline, the cows are in the corn. That would be a hymn. But if I came back and said the cows are in the corn, the cows are in the corn, the brown cows, the black cows, the cows. That would be a praise song. I'm old-timey. But I can't help it. And I enjoy telling stories, old stories and stuff, and using my Barney Fife. You know, is anybody saying Thelma Lou? John Wayne, I love the Duke. I've always loved John Wayne. He's always been a hero to me. I came in here and saw, and your church has something called Man Church. Son, that'd be something the Duke would love. We could have reached him early if you'd had Man Church. There's only one thing wrong. I can sense it in my spirit about Man Church. Won't be long till some of you women will go, I want to go. You know, I just want to sit in the back. I want to hear what they say. Good night. Y'all are into everything. Rotary Club, Lions Club. You're in it all, and that's fine. I love you, but I'm old-timey. Let the men be with the men. Y'all don't need to know everything. I'm old-timey. I'm 8-track. I'm in an iPod world. I got an iPod. I got an iPhone. This little iPhone right here. Look at that. I got that thing. And now I didn't know how to load it, but my boys loaded it. And I can even take pictures. You know what I'm saying? I'll take a picture right there. Hold on a second. I'm going to take a picture of y'all right there. Look at you. All right, y'all got the light. All right, steady. Got a smile. Okay. Gotcha. Okay. Now I'll tell you what I like to do. I'm going to get me with y'all behind me. I like that. Let's see if I got it. Yeah, but it was a blurry one. But anyhow, I got an iPod, but I'm 8-track. I live in an 8-track world, in an iPod world. I think I messed that up, but you know what I'm saying. I'm 54 years old. I'm ADD, and I ain't taking no Ritalin. I'm enjoying life. I tell old stories. People say, you tell old stories. Well, I like them. Some of my favorite ones of all time. One of my all-time favorite is the zipper story. How many have heard the zipper story? Several here, but not everybody. Look, a whole section right there. Are those my peoples over there? Yeah. Love you. God bless you. I even got sort of kinfolk here. Christensen family, they're here. We're sort of kin. Swedes are all intermarried. And yeah, sure, you betcha. But anyhow, and they know this. Old stories are the best. I remember when I was at the seminary, Southwestern Baptist Theological Seminary, and I was over there being studious and listen, I got a master's degree. I got a doctorate. Yeah, you know, I did. I got all that stuff. Why did I do all that? But while I was over there, I remember old Benji and Connie. They were there too. Benji and I were roommates at Baylor. Benji's from Winfield, Louisiana. Connie's from Shreveport. We always put an extra S in Shreveport. When you live in Monroe, it's Shreveport. And you go over there to Walmart with a K, Walmart. Brother Dennis, have you been to that Walmart? I remember when Benji and Connie fell in love. And then when they finished seminary, they went down to St. Francisville, Louisiana. Went down to St. Francisville, Louisiana, and he was a minister of music down there, a song starter down there. And back before praise music. I mean, they'd sing All Rise and stuff like that, some good songs, you know, back then. But you did that at youth camp, where it belongs. In church, you sang hymns. I remember one time we asked this little old lady at our church, you know, ma'am, you're the oldest in our church. You know, Mother's Day, which hymn do you want? We're going to let you choose all the hymns. Which hymn do you want? And she said, I want him and him and him. That was a joke there. See, that little thing. It felt like I needed to throw that in there. Felt led of the Lord. But they were there at their church, and they were going to have a banquet. You know how you have these banquets, these Valentine banquets and stuff. You know, churches, we may not drink that much, but we love to eat. We buffet our bodies. You know, I have never, ever preached on gluttony. Yeah, you didn't want to go there, do you? Listen, I've thought about writing a book, Carbs for Christ. Listen to me. I'm alive. Atkins is dead, okay? Listen to me. Listen to me. But I like carbohydrates. Well, they're having a banquet. And about every 5 years, women go through a stage where they want to wear a formal to a banquet. You know, they want to we're going to wear our formals, and we're going to dress up. It's going to really be nice and everything. And, you know, we've had barbecue the last 4 years, and, you know, we're going to dress up, you know. And you can wear a tux or a tie. Oh, God, not. Oh, man. They just go through that stage. I've done a study on it. Well, they were going to have their banquet, and Connie only had one formal. They were just been right out of seminary, didn't have any money. And so she's trying to put her formal on and everything, zip that zipper up. You know, it goes from the hip to the neck. You know, you're trying to zip that thing up. Well, she's trying to get that done. What you need to know, she and Benji had been mad at each other. They weren't talking. In ministry, it happens. I've known Carter and Michelle when they just, you know. I mean, Michelle every now and then would go, Carter, Carter. but oh, Michelle, and then, and it's normal. It's normal. Some of you are here tonight, and you're faking it for Jesus. You're faking it for Jesus. Look, there's several couples. Look, that old boy, he just broke loose. He just broke loose. Yeah, and the woman sitting there, I'm going to get him when we get home, too, and kill him. But we bought our tickets, and we're here, okay? We bought our tickets, and we're here. And, well, Benji and Connie were mad. They hadn't talked in about a day. Well, finally, she broke silence when she said, can you fix my zipper? Can you do that much? He said, I can zip it up, woman. So he grabbed that zipper, and he was going to play a little tune on it to try to get her in a good mood. He went, you know how music people are, Tim. And trying to get her happy. We want y'all happy. We want you women happy, I'm always trying to make my wife happy. And she just had the big birthday back in November, the big one, I don't know what she's going through, but every night our air conditioning is on 68 degrees. Has it happened yet, Carter? Semi-kinda? Oh, it's coming, baby. It's coming. And then at 2 in the morning, turn the fan on. Turn the fan. The fan? And I said in a nice way, I said, baby, I try to be tender. Because I've been to the seminary. I've studied these things. I said, hey, babe, are you going through a change? And she went, no, I'm not. I went, okay, babe. Look, old Tim's sweating down here. I must have hit on a nerve or something. You know what I've learned? When you talk about stuff like that, take them out to eat at a real nice eating place. Because they don't holler in public. See? So we went out to eat at a real nice place. And I said, baby love. I said, how long does that last? And she, under control, she went, I've heard at least 4 years. I went, 4 years? I had a buddy ask me the other day, he said, hey, Swan, how long are you going to be on the road like you are all the time? I said, at least 4 more. Some of you men, you're wanting to say something, but your wife's right there, and you're going, don't get her stirred up. Don't get her stirred up. Well, anyhow, Benji and Connie, back to Benji and Connie. So he's trying to zip that zipper up, and then broke the zip. It broke. He broke the zipper. Oh, my gosh. She said, did you break my zipper? He said, I'm sorry, Connie. I'll fix it. I'll fix it. You can't fix a busted zipper. You know, he had to pin it here. He had to pin it here. Because remember, when you bust that zipper, it sort of zips and then skips a big section. And that's too much flesh in a Baptist church, I'll tell you that. Whether you're contemporary or traditional. So they had to pin it, and they had to pin it. Then she had to wear a shawl over it. She had to wear a shawl to cover that flesh. A shawl. She was the only woman that wore a shawl that night. It was in June. And these little church ladies, you know how they are. They go, oh, Connie, I love your shawl. Well, it's always so cold in the fellowship hall, so I just thought I'd wear it. My grandmother made it, so I thought I'd wear it. Well, it's beautiful, beautiful. Liar, liar, pants on fire. Well, when they finished that banquet and got in the car to go home, man, most of us have been there, hadn't we? Some of you young'uns out there, you're going to join us one day. It could be tonight. But you know, when you get in that car and you're driving home, and she says, I have never been so embarrassed in all of my life. I was the only woman with a shawl on. To which he said, well, they said you look good. They were being Christian. Well, when they got home, they went to bed. He slept on his side, she slept on her side. Next morning, she gets up, she gets dressed, and she wakes him up. She says, I'm going shopping. I'm going to the mall. I'm going to the mall in Baton Rouge, and I'm going to buy a formal. I might buy 2 of them. I'm going to charge it on the charge card. I don't care what little Larry Burkett says or little Davy Ramsey. I'm charging it for Jesus. Go ahead, woman. I don't slow him down. She took off. That afternoon, when she pulled back into that driveway, she pulled in right behind Benji's Mustang convertible. 1964 and a half. His daddy bought that in Winfield, Louisiana. Light yellow on the bottom, black soft top, black interior. 64 and a half, because that's when they came out. And she gets out of her car and she's walking past his car. Benji's underneath the car, the Mustang working on it. Connie's got these bags, about 10, 11 bags. Man, have you ever noticed how a woman can carry that many bags? Come into your house, open the door, close the door, walk in and go, got a little something for everybody. They had a sale. The next night, they come through the same door and stop and go, I could use some help with the groceries. Would somebody like to get up off their little blessed assurance and help me with the groceries? I said, good night, woman. You carried 12 bags in last night by yourself. I said that one time. That's why I'm on the road as much as I am. But, so Connie's walking past Benji, and she looks down at him, and she gets an idea. I'm going to teach him a lesson to never mess with my zipper again. She looked around to see if she saw any church people out there in their front yard. She didn't see any. They were young. See, church people look through windows with binoculars. And they didn't know that then. She squatted down and grabbed his zipper. Said, I'll teach him a lesson. And she looks around, gives a little extra. Picks her bags up and said, taught him a lesson. She walks through the house, opens the door, closes the door, walks in the house, sets everything on the kitchen table, walks into the den, and there's Benji watching television. I mean, she's losing it. Benji said, I'm sorry, Connie, I'm sorry about the dress. I don't care about the dress. Who's under your car? Bubba next door. I mean, she's losing it. What's the matter? I thought that was you. I went out there and zipped on his zipper. You what? I zipped on his. You zipped on his zipper? Our ministry could be over, woman. I thought that was you. I did zip on his zipper. You did you zip a bunch? I did zip a bunch. Good. No. And then in feminine fashion, she said, you go out there and you fix it. And don't you dare tell him it was me. Or you won't be singing, what a fellowship, what a joy divine for a long time. Benji felt led to go out there. He goes out there, Bubba's still underneath the car. He said, Bubba doesn't move. He said, now, Bubba doesn't move. He squats down, looks underneath the car. Bubba is out cold, just. Benji, Bubba comes through. He said, Benji, I was putting the last twist on your oil filter. Some woman came and grabbed my zipper, started zipping my zipper. I looked up, hit my head on the oil paint. Benji said, I've heard about her. She lives way down the street. She lives way down the street. You remember how I told you how people look through windows with their binoculars? The next morning at church, the choir was packed. Benji thought he was really coming into his own with his leadership skills and music. Couldn't believe the attendance packed out. They worked on the hymn, the anthem. Y'all heard that lately? Anthem. But when he got into church on the downbeat, instead of them singing his anthem, they sang, zippity-doo-dah, zippity-yay. My, oh, what a wonderful day. Zip, 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 zippity-doo-dah, zippity-yay. Zippity-doo-dah, zippity-yay. Zip, 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 zip. Did that set you free? I'm old-timey. I'm 8-track. I'm in an iPod world. I admit it. It's not easy. I try. I don't know if I'll ever catch on. I don't know if I'll ever stay on the cutting edge. But I know this much. I may not be really an iPod guy. I'm 8-track. Doubt I'll ever be in this iPod world. But I'm glad to know that there's a great I am. He's the I am that I am the I am. He always was, always is, always will be. And we'll go through so many changes, so many styles, what's in, what's out. But he never changes. He's the great I am. He said, I am the bread of life. You're going to always need a little bread. Got to get that serotonin level up. No carbohydrate. You are one mean dude. Need some carbs. When I was a pastor, when I'd have deacons meeting, when they'd come in, I'd give each one of them a little Debbie Swiss roll cake. 300 calories, 20 fat grams. That's stewardship, people, for 25 cents. Oh, I know some of you have gone up to 35. I know, but it's still a good deal. You need your carbs. He said, I am the bread of life. I am that living water. I am that I am. He told Moses, tell him the great I am sent you. And he is the truth and the way and the life. He said, I and the Father are one. I am the way, the truth, and the life. I am the door. You know, as I close, I want to give a little tribute to my daddy, Floyd Leon. Love my daddy. You know, my dad, I guarantee you, he's 8-track. Actually, he's record label, LP. I love my daddy. I love my little mama, Pauline Bernadine. And they're part of that great generation. And, you know, my dad's getting older and his memory's not the best that it used to be. And that's been sort of tough, you know. But I relate to them, and we talk back the old days a lot, and we can remember way back there real easy. Isn't that funny? We can remember way back there. But then there's those moments that my dad does certain things in the present that shows that he's still with it in more ways than one. And this last Christmas time was a time when my dad didn't need to be driving anymore. And to give up driving is really hard. And he had a 1986 El Camino. And he bought it brand new. Been driving that El Camino all these years. Well, he gave me that El Camino. And as I was going to drive it back after Christmas, he said, be careful now. Don't let it get away from you. That El Camino's light in the back. Those wheels will spin on you, son. I said, Daddy, I've rented every kind of car there is in America. And he said, you've never rented an El Camino. And he's right. And you know what? It will spin out from under you. We took it to the Genie car wash to get it cleaned up and everything. And we were watching it come through there. You know how you look through those windows. And as I was watching that car, that El Camino come through, my dad was standing there. And my dad started crying. Man, I'll tell you. I said, Daddy, we don't have to take that El Camino home. We can leave it right here in the garage. And my dad said, no, go ahead and take it. I'll probably forget about it anyway. It's amazing the thing that he does remember when we talk on the phone is, how's that El Camino? We sent him a picture, me and my boys, in front of that El Camino with him, and made it an 8x10. We want him to try to remember it as long as he can. You know, all of us may have trouble with our memories, and we may not remember a whole lot. There may be a day that maybe my dad, my mom may not remember me, but I'll tell you what, I'll remember them. And I'll remember their love and their grace, their goodness to me. A couple of years ago, we were working and orchestrating things where everything's taken out of my dad and mom's name, put it in my name, because Uncle Sam is kin, but he don't need everything. And so we were working that all out. Finally, we had it all done with the lawyers and the CPAs, and we were sitting at this big board table. And I said, Daddy, do you have any question before you sign on the dotted line to sign it over to your son? And, you know, when I think about that, it's terrible that we have to do that, isn't it? But one day I'll have to do that with my boys. Good night, no telling where that money's going to go. But I imagine my dad felt the same way. I said, Dad, before you sign, is there anything else you want to ask? And my dad said this. Will I still be able to write my tithe check? I said, yes, sir. You'll still be able to write your tithe check, Daddy. Well, that's all I need to know then. Where do I need to sign? I think I'll always remember that. My dad is not the great I am, but he sure gave me a good picture on earth of a good heavenly Father. And I would like to do that same thing for my boys. And you can too, and I can too, because Christ, the great I am, can be in you and live in and through you. And you can have that same Christ who is the same yesterday, today, and forever. You may be 8-track in an iPod world, but you can really live because this is the great I am, the Father's world. And I entreat you to enjoy this world that He's given you. Enjoy your family. Enjoy your friends. Enjoy your faithful brothers and sisters in Christ at church. Enjoy your community. Enjoy life. Life's too short not to enjoy. And as some have said, it's too long not to enjoy. So enjoy it. God bless you, Mr. and Miss 8-track. Takes one to know one. Love you. God bless you. Thanks for having me tonight.
We hope you've enjoyed Dennis Swanberg, an 8-track guy in an iPod world.